you know, who have gone through a lot of pain. And let's face it, it's been a long time since the AFC's won the Super Bowl, hasn't it, Seth?
Certainly has, and hopefully it'll change it.
And who was the last AFC team to win the Super Bowl?
Don't want to talk about it.
Why not?
I don't know.
You know, I try to give your team a shout out, and then you don't even take the opportunity.
It's been too long. It's got to happen again soon. So.
Well, God bless them. Well, speaking of the AFC, let's move on. Denver at San Diego. Hey, the Chargers, I busted on the Chargers the last couple of weeks, and I feel bad that I did because they played well in Philadelphia on Sunday. They had 27 unanswered points. Junior Seau rumbling in for a touchdown. And, you know, the Chargers, I mean, but they're in the toughest division, the AFC West. I mean, you got 4 teams. Well, the Chiefs are 3-0, and then you got 3 teams at 2-1.
Yep, there's only one team below 500 in the AFC West, and as always, that's going to be a tough division to see who's going to pull out.
Well, why don't you talk about the AFC West? I mean, because if anyone's going to be an AFC West expert, it would have to be you. You have the Raider persuasion. So who's going to win the AFC West?
Personally, because I'm kind of biased, I think the Raiders are going to win. They've got a well-rounded offense and a well-rounded defense on both sides of the ball. They can win every ball game if they feel like it. The problem is they usually shoot themselves in the foot, which happened again this week. San Diego went to Super Bowl last year. Everybody said it was kind of a fluke. I kind of agree, but they definitely have enough talent and ability to get there too.
And so you're talking about the Raiders and Chargers, all right, and their chances. I think either the Raiders or Broncos are going to win the West, but the Chiefs are 3-0. What's happening here?
I can't explain it. I thought the Chiefs were going to finish 3rd, 4th after Montana left. I didn't see Bono coming in and getting the job done, but he's done a spectacular job for Kansas City.
The Emperor does not share your optimistic appraisal of the situation.
Yeah, they've come back late there. I mean, if the Chiefs could play good for the first 3 quarters, God knows. I mean, people might think they're the Cowboys or something. You know, if you're just hearing the game and you don't see it. I mean, because they're 4th quarter. They've been the 4th quarter in the last 2 games. I mean, otherwise, you know, they were down 14 to the Giants. Then they woke up, won in overtime. The Raiders had them up 10 in the 4th. Woke up 10. I don't know. But speaking of the Chiefs, they're at Cleveland this week. Cleveland's going to go to the Super Bowl, in case anybody's wondering. Yeah, I know. Go ahead, you Miami fans, you Pittsburgh wannabes and whatnot. But, you know, hey, I think the Browns are going to the Super Bowl. What do you think of this game with the Chiefs?
I think the Browns got the thing that's going to get the Browns to the Super Bowl is their defense. They've given up 30 points in 3 games, and they only scored 14 last week against the Oilers. But if you're going to give up 7, I mean, that's going to win ball games. So, Kansas City, I don't know how long they're going to be able to keep it up. Cleveland, they have problems on offense. They got the ball to Andre Rison once in last week.
Andre Rison. Somebody sent out an APB for Andre Rison because I haven't seen the bad moon ain't arising. It's been like one of them 24-hour Sundays. I ain't seen the bad moon. But you know what? I said a couple weeks ago that you weren't going to see the bad moon anyway because Bill Belichick don't throw the ball. I don't know if anybody remembers when he used to coach for the Giants, and we know he used to coach under Bill Parcells, who loves to hold the ball for 120 minutes for the game and pound it with O.J. Anderson and whatnot. So I said Andre Rison wasn't going to get that much time, but he's there. He's a deep threat. And the thing I love about this game is, well, Kansas City and Cleveland played the last tie in NFL history back in 1989. And this game is just, well, it's kind of special to me because I'd love to see a tie one of these days. We've not had a tie in the 1990s. We might get one again this week. You remember that game 6 years ago?
Not quite. No.
Yeah, Nick Lowry missed like 20 field goals in overtime, and it just ended in a tie. The tie's been abolished. 25 years ago when they had the merger, they wanted to abolish ties from the system. They added the extra overtime in '74, and now the ties is non-existent. But this game brings back memories of the tie. Now, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about right now. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? So let's move on, shall we? Rematch is Super Bowl 15, another game nobody but me remembers. Philadelphia at Oakland, and they should play this one in the Superdome, shouldn't they?
Oh, sure. Only time a wild card team has won the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Yes.
So what do you think? Do you think your Raiders are going to look good or what?
Oh, yeah, I think the Raiders are going to win this ball game, and pretty handily. They got some kinks to work
handily.
out.
Oh, look at you all obnoxious now.
Well, they got some kinks to work out, but Philadelphia, they got the quarterback controversy, and Cunningham bounced back pretty nicely. Against San Diego, he had 3 touchdown passes, but the Raiders, I think they're going to work out their kinks. They have offensive line problems, but they did have a pretty good running game against Kansas City.
Yeah, Harvey Williams, he's all right. I mean, I remember when he was one of the three backs in the Chiefs a couple years ago, and you know, he was like their third down guy. But now he's pretty good. He's all right. I mean, you know, don't compare him to Emmitt Smith or nothing, who's the greatest running back in the game. And don't even talk to me about Barry Sanders or Thurman Thomas, because those guys are going to come through in the playoffs, unlike Emmitt Smith, who beats the Giants on the road with one shoulder, you know, and wins Super Bowls. Barry Sanders puts up a -1 in a wild card game. Get out of here. And Thurman Thomas with his 30 career fumbles. These guys just don't even compare. There's just a whole nother echelon, and Emmitt Smith's the only one on that upper level. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely. I don't know what happened to Barry Sanders. He had a couple of good runs last game, 40-yard touchdown scamper, but you don't really hear too much about Barry Sanders anymore. It's more Emmitt Smith.
Yeah, Barry Sanders got stuffed at the goal line against Arizona last week, and that ended up costing him. But, yeah, Oakland will beat the Eagles this week, I think, evoking those memories of Super Bowl 15 and Rod Martin with his 3 picks, and I hope you know what I'm talking about if you're a Raider fan. Yep. That's probably why you're a Raider fan, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you were a little boy growing up there in 1980, January of '81, and you said, oh, look, the Raiders, I'm going to root for them. They won the Super Bowl, right?
Well, my dad's been a Raiders fan, and that's basically all the
time.
Oh,
all right. You're going with that dad thing. All right. Okay, right now, speaking of the Super Bowl, we're going to go to our Professor Winston J. Periwinkle, the esteemed professor out of Bucklands University, and he's working on a documentary down here at BTV, and here's a clip from that documentary.
I was a popcorn vendor for Super Bowl 27. I'm sure you all know that. It was really an amazing football game when you think about it. But what I remember most about the game is in the third quarter as the Dallas offense ran onto the field. So I remember seeing out of the corner of my eye someone in the upper deck wearing an Emmitt Smith jersey. You know, the actual jersey. I remember thinking to myself, what is Emmitt Smith doing all the way in the upper deck when his team is down on the field playing possibly one of America's greatest games? The score at halftime was 28-10. And 25 years earlier, the U.S. landed troops in Vietnam. Now let's think about that for a second. Only football and politics could create such irony. 25 years ago, troops in Vietnam. The score at halftime is 28-10. I'm not making this up. This is serious. I know a lot about the game, and I know you want to test me right now, and you may not believe this, but it's true. The next year was Super Bowl 28, and I missed Super Bowl 28. And I'll tell you why. Because at the time, I was pledging Freddie Stay Healthy in the mini-mall. And I think we were having an after-hours at FitSpace. So I ended up missing the entire second quarter as well as the rest of the game. But I got a good workout in.
All right, that's Winston J. Periwinkle in a beautiful documentary that will be completed sometime this semester. And whatnot. Could you stop squeaking that chair, maybe?
Sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. All right, let's talk about the Sunday night game. Green Bay at Jacksonville. What do you think about this? Normally I don't talk about the Jaguars, but I guess I have to.
Well, on Sunday night, you got to talk about them. Green Bay stopped the Giants again. 14-6, beat the Giants. They lost on paper. Giants had 303 yards. Green Bay only 198.
The Giants lose on paper. They lose on the field. They are probably the biggest disappointment I've ever seen in history, with Dan Reeves going with his, we're going 11-5 crap, and now you got to go 11-2 to match. Actually 11-1 because you got to play Dallas again, and don't think you're even going to come close in that game. So the Giants are horrible. I love it. I love watching the Giants lose. Nothing makes me happier. But Green Bay will beat Jacksonville this week.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean the Jaguars looked okay against the Jets. And what about those Jets pulling up that big win against the Jaguars? Man, they did Jet fans proud last week, don't you think? Because now they won't lose to both Jacksonville and Carolina. But I said they're going to lose to one of them. So it looks like Carolina's going to get the loss now. What do you think of that?
I don't quite see that happening, but the Jets definitely have their problems. They got a lot of work cut out for them.
What about the Packers, though, in the NFC Central? Like, what the hell's going on there?
I think the Packers got a solid team, and I think they could surprise some people, seriously. They got decent.
The Packers won't surprise me unless they, like, beat the Cowboys. Then that'll surprise me. Well, but anything else they do doesn't surprise me.
Well, they do have a possibility of beating the Cowboys. They're one of the few teams who do it this
year.
Oh,
really?
But I don't think it's going to happen, but it very well could. Favre, the problem is their quarterback's Favre. He's a little shaky. He can pull off some great plays, but he can also, screw up big time in a big situation.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yep.
Yeah, well, the big situation you refer to is usually in the playoffs against Dallas. Well, that's the last 2 years anyway. All of a sudden, his little game plan goes haywire, and then it's spanky time,